Let's refine it further. Let's refine it further.
We'll make it back, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch, where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Let's refine it further.
We Mike and Matt, lead the way.
Let's refine it further.
We're here to stay. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, with Mike and Matt. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Let's refine it further. Let's refine it further.
Always on track. We'll make it back. With the clutch, double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track.
Yo, what's good, homie?
What up, man?
What up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Double Clutch, man. It's been a minute, bro.
Man, it's been too long, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been missing it, man. Like that true love, that first kiss, man. I've been missing it. Been missing it, bro.
What's been good with you, man? Get a folks an update. What you been up to, man, since the last time you was on the show?
Oh man, a bunch of ripping and running, you know, starting the real estate game and doing that stuff. A bunch of, man, it's been crazy learning it all. And but other than that, man, the animals, just tending to them, man. And you know, season has started for me at least, you know, started at least pairing some stuff up. Still got some stuff to lay from last year, but man, just been ripping and running, man. What about you?
Same, man, ripping and running. Couple weeks ago was in St. Louis. That's why we couldn't do the show last week. And for people who don't know, a couple weeks ago was in St. Louis. That was pretty tight, man. Good experience. It was my first time going to that show. But yeah, man, same thing. The animals, the snakes, the rodents, like all that good stuff. Not really into pairing a bunch right now for the next season. But probably the next week or two, I'll probably be into it pretty deep with like some of my early girls. I've only done one pair for the 2025 season, but I mean, to be honest, man, I still got girls. Like I got one girl that's about to lay any day now. I got another girl just had her pre-lay shed. One girl is in pre-lay. Then I probably got like 2-3 more girls that if they keep on doing how they're doing, they'll be going probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So definitely still wrapping up the 2024 season, but obviously all that stuff gonna be hatching in 2025.
Man, it's crazy. Yeah, you got that late one going on, man. So it's exciting though, man. I'm just excited that I can officially call myself a year-round breeder. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not intentionally. It's just, you know, some of my females ended up going late. Like I got 2 girls that are due to lay. Well, one of them is due to lay on the 30th of this month, and then the other is due to lay. Well, she's just had her pre-lay shed, so she's due to lay like around Christmas time or whatever, somewhere around, I don't know. But man, it's been, I've had eggs in the incubator since May, I believe, March or April or May. I've had eggs in the incubator, and it doesn't look like it's gonna stop because I got these 2 clutches coming, and I already got females pairing, and I got a few sitting at around 18 or 20 millimeters. So hopefully they'll be dropping clutches here by springtime. So
Nice. You hit a big milestone this year too. You had a girl on eggs that you actually produced.
Yeah, man, that was crazy, bro. Like I forgot all of, man, it's because I've been doing so much, but that was crazy. I think I produced that. I think that video is still my #1 watch video on my YouTube channel, which I need to get back on. Yeah. I think that video, when I produced that clutch, or not when I produced the cuts, but when I did. That was like my very first egg cutting, or one of my first egg cuttings. No, it was, yeah, it had to have been the first one. It was the first egg cutting. And my reactions on there was crazy when I hit my first clowns, because it was, man, I think I hit 3 clowns out of 5 eggs, and then, you know,
Oh, nice.
it was my first. Yeah, it was my first pairing, and so, man, so I can't wait. So she should give me hopefully some DG clown combos in there that are all hypo, and so I can further work that project for sure. So
that's what's up, man. Big congrats on that.
Yeah.
So tonight's episode, SWOT analysis on the reptile community. For those that don't know what a SWOT analysis is, it's really just an analysis that companies do, you know what I'm saying, of their strengths, their weaknesses, their opportunities, and their threats in their respective market. They use kind of like the feedback that they get from doing that SWOT analysis. They use that to like inform decisions and make strategy and stuff like that. So that's what it is. We'll probably be doing some more of these SWOT analysis on various specific topics within the reptile industry. So definitely stay tuned for that. This is gonna be real dope, man. But before we get into tonight's show, I do want to run through what we got coming up on the Herp Collectors Network real quick.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
This Monday, man, we got the Chondro Corner with the big homie Bro, one half of the Chondro Corner dynamic duo. He got Greg Maxwell in the building. If you don't know, man, Greg wrote the book on green tree pythons. So definitely be on the spot to check that out. It's going to be a super dope show. That's Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big shout out to Ro. Big shout out to Jen. Both of them doing their thing on Chondro Corner, man. I'm really enjoying this show. Also, man, this Tuesday, we got Retic Rundown, episode 6. We got the homie Joe and Chris returning. Going to be giving you the ultimate guides to a new retic, whether you picking up like a hatchling retic, you picking up an older retic. It's going to be a lot of information packed into this episode, so definitely stay tuned for that. The homie Joe, the homie Chris, both of them doing their thing, man. Super proud of those guys as well. If you missed the announcement this past Thursday on Clutch Conversations when we was talking with Veronica from Palm Street, here's a new announcement. House of LaSpood. We got Jess from House of LaSpood. She's going to be doing the Moat podcast on the show. It starts December 3rd, man, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So going forward, we're going to have a show every Tuesday, whether that's Retic Rundown or the Moat. Definitely looking forward to this podcast, man. It's going to be super dope. And then another announcement that we made this past Thursday, Morph Map, man. Morph Map is going to be coming real soon. We got Tommy from Inky Clouds and the homie Brian, Heathen Hatchery 352, going to be in the building on the regular doing Morph Map. This is going to be a super tight show, man. They're going to be sitting down, talking with folks about various genetics, talking about how those genes interact and combos, the history of the gene, all that good stuff, man. It's going to be information packed. So definitely make sure you be on the scene to tap into that. And that's going to be coming real soon. We'll have some more information coming for that in the very near future.
That's crazy, man. All them shows is first off though, because being that we was the original second show to the Herp Collectors Network, I got to change my picture because I'm looking at everybody else's picture. Ro got on police glasses and stuff. Everybody else looking fresh. I'm about to have to change my picture. I'm like, man, everybody got some dope pictures on here now, but it looks good, bro. It's all coming together. So yeah, I'm excited for all the new shows, man, especially that Morph Map show. I remember we was talking about something like that a while ago, so it's good to see that one come into play. So yeah, man, very excited to see those happen and just to see people flourishing, man, and getting that opportunity to get on there and do their thing on the platform, man. And so yeah, this is gonna be dope.
Show, man. I'm just, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm the exact same way. I'm the exact same way. I'm definitely looking forward to all those shows, man. So I'm super appreciative of everybody hopping on, man. It's one big family, man. So definitely looking forward to us growing in the future. Let's see who we got in the chat tonight. Speaking of Ro, we got Mr. Floppy in the building himself. What's good, homie?
Sir.
Appreciate you coming out. Double Clutch Patreon member. Brian 352 in the building. What's good? What's good? Herp Collectors Network, Double Clutch Patreon member. What's up? Appreciate you coming out, fam. We got the homie Keys in the building. What's good? Whiskey Bomb Network. Y'all make sure y'all check out Sophisticated ignorance tonight after tonight's show. You know it's gonna be live in there. What you say?
Always.
Identify the weakest link and kick them out. Shoot, don't tip me with a good time, bro.
Oh man.
Big
Trying
Bosa,
to start messing. We ain't even start the show.
himself. Yeah.
Hey, and I'm trying to figure out how Bosa's in here.
Out.
Ain't he had a quinceañera? A quinceañera?
Man, Bosa got clones of himself. It's like 12 Bosa. You just don't know it. Got Nikki, Irresistible Pythons in the building. Double Clutch Patreon member. What's up? What's up? Eric from Eric's More Factor in the building. What's good, homie? Appreciate you coming out. Purple Rain himself, Dun Dada, Uptown Exotics in the building. There goes the other half of the Conjure Corner dynamic duo. What's good, Jim? Appreciate you coming out, sis. We got Wifey in the building. What's up? What's up? What's up? Appreciate you coming out. All City Serpents. What's good, homie? Appreciate you coming out, Big James. We got the homie Elias in the building. What's good, bro? Aaron, what's good, man? Hey, it was great meeting you a couple weekends ago in St. Louis, man. Good chopping it up with you. We got Matt pulling double duty. What's good? See who else we got. No Rakim. We're going to stop it right there. What's good, homie? So, like I said, we gave a rundown of what actual SWOT analysis is, man. So let's just go in order, man. Let's start with strengths and then work our way all the way through it. So starting with strengths, what would you say from your perspective are some of the strengths of the reptile community?
Oh, man. I mean, starting off, as far as the whole community goes as a whole, it's definitely, and some of my stuff I'm telling you right now is going to overlap because it's a good angel and a bad angel on pretty much everything, I feel like. But I think some of the strengths of the whole reptile community is that it's the main strength that I see is that it's still room for growth. You know what I'm saying? It's still such a small niche that there's so much room for expanding, like, which is the reason why we are able to come up with all these shows, and you got all these different shows on the network. Like now my wife could watch a spider show because the moat is about to pop off. You know what I'm saying? So it's so much growth in this community that can happen. I think that to me is a big strength because a lot of things you get into, it's already reached its max potential. You know what I'm saying? It's already grown to the point where it can. But I think within our community, it's definitely got some places that it can grow. You just go outside and walk around. I guarantee you, 8 out of 10 people that you talk to have never heard of a reptile expo. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't know that there's different kinds of reptiles versus the ones they see at PetSmart while they buying their dog food. So the growth aspect of it, I think, is real big and one of our strengths.
100%. And to me, like a big part of that is because of like the passion that people have for what they do, right? So I've operated in a bunch of different spaces throughout life, you know what I mean? And some spaces you see it, some spaces you don't. But the reptile industry is like one of those industries where I just see people like super, super passionate about what they do. You know what I mean? Like no matter what species that they working with, if that's the species they working with, or if they're working with multiple species, they just super driven about it, man. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their actions. It's a big part of why this community is what it is. You know what I mean? And so that to me is like super huge. Another thing too is like those same people who are super passionate about what they do, because of that passion, you know what I'm saying, they're driven to learn more and more and more and more. And so you just see like a compounding effect of people, you know what I'm saying, accumulating knowledge and wisdom and understanding about what it is they do, and a big strength added on to that. So not only are they accumulating all that, but they're also willing to share that information. You know what I mean? Like you see people who've been in the game, because I'm sure you've heard like these same stories that I've heard. Like back in the day, everybody was kind of keeping everything close to the vest. They didn't want to tell nobody like what to do or how to do it, because they didn't want somebody to get ahead of them, or they wanted to make it seem like just this super hard thing to do so they can protect themselves and their space. But I feel like we super fortunate, right? Because I haven't dealt with as much of that in the reptile community as like maybe some people who started like way before me. So we're super fortunate in that people are willing to share that information and help push people forward. So to me, that's a strength as well.
Yeah, I think that with that is part of the reason why I think, at least for me, I think that is because when we first started. Well, I won't say we because we wasn't doing it, obviously, but the forefathers of the the reptile community, when they were starting off, and I think that a lot of the reason why they kept a lot of stuff close to the chest is because there wasn't as much stuff to work with, and there wasn't that big of a. It was like the niche is still small right now, so it was even smaller then. You know what I'm saying? So you only had a select few buyers. You know what I'm saying? And people who was actually trying to come into this thing. Now you got people all around coming in from YouTubes and Patreons and all this kind of stuff, getting all this knowledge. So the growth is able to happen. But then at the same time, I mean, at least like even in the ball python community, we now know and understand it's not just spider, pinstripe, and pastel. We understand that there's, you know what I'm saying, there's so many other genes out there. So you really don't have to try to keep everything close to the chest, because as long as you work in your little path in it, we can both be in hypo DG project, but you might be hypo DG with chocolate and working that angle, and I'm hypo DG and whatever gravel working that angle. So you know what I'm saying? So I think because of the variety of more genetics and also more people coming into this, it's allowed people to allow the growth to happen, and you know what I'm saying, allow people to open up, you know.
Big facts, big facts. Shout out to the homie No Rakim. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I just checked, it's like 14 slackers, so make sure y'all hit that like button. I know it's probably people in here lurking, but at least hit that like button. Golly.
And if you lurking, just hit me in the DMs.
Say again.
I said, if you lurking, just hit me in the DMs. You know what I'm saying? We don't got time for lurking. And just go ahead, hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Hulk smash that thing.
That like button, man. Stop playing with us and hit that like button, man. Hitting that like button is so helpful for people who doing what we're doing, man, because that feeds the algorithm. The algorithm likes that. YouTube likes that. And we like it. YouTube like that. In the immortal words of the homie GP. So big shout out to the homie Gershon, man. We're going to keep that going. Yeah, man. 100%. 100%. Speaking of what you were saying, like, to your point, as far as like the growth, one thing I've been noticing a lot lately too, on IG, is I'm getting a lot of new accounts following me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like folks who got like maybe 2-3 posts, something like that, and it's like flagged as new. So to me, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Because to me, that's more people getting into it, more people setting themselves up and presenting themselves as, hey, I'm a member of the community. So I think that's good, man. Because to your point, man, people coming in is going to drive the growth of the overall industry. That was a good point that you hit on in terms of back in the day, like the pot was so small, and so it almost kind of created an environment that was conducive to people, you know what I'm saying, holding stuff close to the vest and stuff like that. So the more people we get in, the more voices, the more perspectives, like the overall growth, man, is hugely important. So I'm super excited to be seeing all those people, you know what I'm saying, like reaching out, following, getting involved in the community.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man, another thing too is the youth. Like that's another thing that excites me. I've been noticing a lot at shows, like all the kids just getting involved. A month, 2 months ago, whenever it was, I was at Animal Con, like talking to like a lot of the young cats who was like looking to be like social media influencers and stuff like that. And like these kids, they was passionate, already in love with reptiles, already in love with animals. And then not only that, but they had like a solid business mind, and they had like clear goals in terms of what they want to do. You know what I mean? And they was very confident. You could tell they had thought it out. You can tell that this was something that was driving them. And I hope all those kids make it, but I know for a fact that a lot of those kids gonna make it, and those gonna be the future leaders of the community tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think, you know, who said it? Who said Michael Jackson said the children are our future? Was that him?
Yeah, going to sing it one time.
Yeah. I think that, you know, said that was MJ. You were saying the GOAT, man. But it is, man. I mean, and that just comes from, people just, doing what they got to do, like on social media, because I think social media is definitely a strength for our community. But just doing what they have to do in order to engage the next generation, whether that be letting people hold a snake at a show, whether that be mentoring the next person that's coming up. I love, because that's one thing I love to do. I love when people are like, hey, I got questions for you about breeding. I got this, that. Like, I love to, you know what I'm saying, be able to give somebody some help, you know what I'm saying, and try to give them something that I think can help them. But the next generation coming up, man, is going to be crazy. I mean, it's already crazy. I think people were, when I had my first clutch, it was like, I remember Antoine told me from High Desert, he was like, dang, your first clutch is a clown head desert ghost clutch. But now these guys' first clutches is about to be double visual clutches. You know what I'm saying? So the next generation, man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy for sure. Yeah.
100%. That's why I like what y'all doing with the birthday parties and stuff like that, like exposing kids and stuff to the reptiles at a young age, taking the time to teach them about them and all that good stuff, man. I think that's super dope.
Oh yeah, man. That's a staple. You got to do that. I love being known as the snake guy. You call me, everybody, the whole city know me as a snake guy. You know what I'm saying? So I love that.
100%, man. Another thing too is like kind of like so many different segments or niches like developing within the hobby, you know what I'm saying? Like whether somebody like jump into podcasting, like Leviathan, folks like them, they doing like documentaries and stuff like that. So I just see like so many opportunities within the community to do different things, and like everybody comes from a different background, and so people bring in like diverse perspectives and like new talents and stuff like that. Like really the sky's the limit in a lot of ways, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I think social media just as a whole is a strength for our community. But I mean, you mentioned Leviathan. I think that I'm not jealous of nobody, but I'm definitely jealous at their media production and the way that they do their YouTube videos. And when I see their videos, I'll be like, oh my, these guys are it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's A1, and granted, everybody's videos are definitely not going to be like theirs, but oops, my bad, I just moved my screen. But everybody's videos ain't going to be like theirs, but man, they give you something to look up to and inspire to keep progressing and doing what it is that you're doing. Because I feel like they're reaching a lot of people. I think he puts out a video. I mean, geez, he puts out so many videos about real stuff,
week.
though. I mean,
at least every week.
Oh yeah, at least every week. And so I enjoy watching their stuff. I enjoy watching him on there. I enjoy watching his wife on there. Real good people. So yeah, man. Whatever everybody just doing their part to influence the community and help it grow.
Yeah, big facts, man. Another good thing too, like this is a strength, is USARK. I don't know that I hope that everybody fully appreciates like what USARK is actually out there doing. You know what I mean? Because it's a small team, like USARK, and I'm just talking specifically about USARK, but USARK and USARK Florida, both small teams out there monitoring all this legislation, like really like combing through it, breaking it down for us, making it plain, making it simple, easy to understand, easy for us to digest and kind of understand what exactly it is that we're going up against, man. And so it's a lot of work that goes into staying on top of that, getting the messaging out, working with attorneys, working with the legislators and all that kind of stuff, man. So big shout out to USARK Florida, man, because that's definitely a strength of our reptile community.
Yeah, and it's much needed. I mean, like you said, and if you're not supporting them, you need to go on ussark.com or whatever the website is. I know I'm a member of it. I just know that they renew mine every year. I just got it on auto renewal. So, but you know what I'm saying? If you're in this hobby, especially if you are what do you call it? Someone who's if you're making money in this hobby, you should be donating to USARK. There's You know what I'm saying? There's no reason that you should not be, because they are a strength for us, man. Because I'm telling you, so half the emails they be sending out, I don't know how they get the information, because I wouldn't know where to go to fight against these dudes who's trying to make the law. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff they be coming out with, I'm like, dude, okay, all right, hey, I know I could give monetarily to help because I can't go physically help. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure.
Big facts, big facts. So what do you think are some weaknesses?
Oh man. Man, there's some weaknesses in our community. I mean, like I said, there's a good angel and the devil on each shoulder, or in each of these categories, man. Because I feel like this, a lot of my things that I think are strengths can also be as weaknesses, like social media. I do feel like for our hobby, there's a lot of information that might be put out that is not the greatest information. There's a lot of videos that are, well, you know what? I'll say that part for threats. I feel like what I'm about to get into, there's going to be some threats, threatening the community. But the fact that we are a small niche community is a weakness. Even though there's so much room for growth because we are such a small thing, there are a lot of things that we miss that laws come into play because this community is not represented the right way. Like, because here in Reno, we're such a small community. We used to have one of the biggest Repticons over here in Reno. Like, they used to come here every year because we got the casinos, so you could gamble, you can do all the the adult things that you can't do in nowhere else but in Nevada. So we got all those kind of things here. And we used to have a really nice Repticon that came here every year, but somebody decided to let a boa out one time. Somebody who owned a boa let it out at the park. It got seen at a park. Rangers were called in or whatever because they was like, it's an anaconda, some nonsense. Basically, it wasn't nothing but a big old regular BCI boa. And then as soon as that happened, the county banned anything over 12 foot without registration. So,
oh wow,
if you even have a species that can get over 12 foot, you have to register, which means they come into your house whenever they want to do wellness checks, which cause all shows to go away because you can't sell big snakes anymore. And nobody wants to deal with that. And then they just banned the sale of reptiles in general in our county. Yeah. So when that happened, yeah, oh yeah, like the sale of a expo, like you can't have an expo like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like you can breed and sell reptiles as like how we do, but you cannot. You can't have a convention center and sell reptiles and things like that. Yeah, so that's a weakness for us, at least here, that we experienced because we're such a small community. We couldn't fight back on this, and so it's been like this in effect now for the last 8-9 years now. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I didn't know that. I think that's the first time I heard you say that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we don't have any expos here. Yeah.
Gotcha. One weakness I do see is like fragmentation, where people kind of like get in like their own circles and kind of talk down on other circles, you know what I mean? Like example, breeders versus pet keepers.
Yeah,
it's enough room for both. Like I see like breeders sometimes like having like a negative outlook or a negative view on pet keepers, when at the end of the day, like it's the pet keepers that turn into breeders, you know what I mean? Right. And so we talking about growing this industry from a business standpoint, progressing projects and things like that. Is going to be those people that breed, that invest big dollars, you know what I mean, into those projects. And oftentimes those people start out as pet keepers. I was talking with somebody the other day. I think it was, I'm not gonna even make it up because I think I remember who it was, but I'm not certain. But I'll just suffice it to say I was talking to them and they was talking about like a guy who had bought a snake for him and his son, right? His son was getting into it. His son wanted to do the breeding and stuff like that. And so like they started out buying like some like lower cost animals and whatnot. And then the father started talking to like the breeder who I was talking to, and just really kind of start snowballing with it. And next thing you know, he buying like $5,000 animals. Not even talking about his son no more. But like now he got the bug, right? He hooked, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how it started, you know what I'm saying? People like starting out as pet keepers, starting out with like lower dollar investments and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Obviously, like certain people, their husbandry is different. I'm a big proponent of doing what works for you. As long as you're not like harming the animal, you know what I'm saying, doing what works for you, to me that makes sense. I know like with us and breeding and stuff like that, if we're working with a lot of animals, space becomes like a consideration and stuff like that. So some people might have like their thoughts about rack systems and stuff like that. And then on the other side of that, people might have their thoughts about like the big enclosures, like because when people like saying, "Hey, my snake don't eat this, that, and the third." So it's just all kind of stuff. There's not really a reason for everybody to be at each other's throats about, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's a happy medium, you know what I mean? Like do what works for you.
Yeah, I tell people all the time that I sell snakes to, like, because the show I do go to that I call our local show is 45 minutes out from where I live, well, an hour away from where I live. So it's like my local show here, but it's outside of our county here. But I have a lot of people who, because I'm the local ball python guy, that they'll get a snake from, and they'll call me and they're like, "Hey, I can't get it to eat," and I'm like, "Okay, what you got it in? A 40-gallon glass tank?" You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Hey, go to Walmart and get you a plastic tub and put it in there." But it's that balance of being like, "Hey," because I always tell them, like, put it in the plastic tub until you get a few meals, and then go ahead and put it in your tank that you want to. Because let's just say, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I grew up having a snake, my first ball python was in a 80-gallon fish tank.
Fish
So
tank.
it was, yeah, oh yeah, bro, that one of them big old long jaw, like it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? As a pet keeper, I want to see my pet. I'm not a breeder, but as a breeder, then show them how they can keep their pet in an environment where they can see it. Tell them to deck it out. Tell them to put a bunch of hides in there. Tell them to put some trees or whatever up in there to give it, so it feels comfortable. But yeah, it's crazy. I remember. I wonder if it wasn't last year, but I think was it like 2 years ago when they was making them memes about putting uh enrichment stuff inside of a ball python tub, like when people
It's
was
about
putting toys in the ball.
yeah, it's about 18, 24 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So to me, like that was. I mean, granted, it was all funny, but it was just a vision. You know what I'm saying? And that, like you said, is a weak point because a house divided amongst itself can't stand. So uh, breeders and keepers we're all in the hobby together, because it only takes one rule of legislation to take away everything from the pet keeper and from the breeder. So
100%. 100%. Uh Species specific haters too, right? I see that a lot too. Like
oh yeah,
somebody hating on I feel like ball pythons get the most heat.
oh
For
yeah,
whatever reason, man. Ball pythons get the most heat. And so like that's not productive either, man. Like keep what you want to keep. Why you hating on another group because they keep a certain species? Like that's just crazy to me. Like
right.
everybody keeping what they want to keep. It How does it bother you? So why are you so concerned with it?
Yeah, I don't get that at all. And I feel like you said, ball pythons are definitely the most hated group of people, and I think that comes from jealousy within the community, because there's so much of a variety of them, and then they're so lucrative if you're doing it right. They are a lucrative species to breed, but at the same time, um, it's kind of like, there might be some people on here opposed to this, and I know you opposed to this, but I mean, if you look at LeBron James, he's the most hated player ever in the history of basketball because he's the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So ball pythons are just doing that same thing. You know what I'm saying? They're the greatest reptile ever, so they're the most hated. You know what I'm saying?
You said that with a straight face too.
Hey, hey, I keep it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? So the hate, you always gotta hate on the top, man. They always gonna hate on the top. So yeah, I don't get that though. Hate no different species. And the crazy part about it is, most people who keep other species only keep that species. But I have found that most ball python people got more than one species of animal.
Oh yeah, big
You know what I'm
facts.
saying? Like I only know of like a few ball python people that only will keep a ball python as a reptile pet. But like most people I know, like even myself, I got so many different reptile pets. Most people that keep them, they got different pets, man, for sure.
Yeah, me too, man. I got several different species. Several
Yeah,
species of snakes. We got lizards around here. So
yeah,
we got spiders, like all that.
yeah, right, exactly. So, uh, yeah, my wife, shoot, I'm in here in her office right now. She got these spiders all up on right now, man. And, I'm like, if one get out, it's over with for them. But but yeah, man, I find that we do keep them all. But yeah, that is a big weakness as far as the division of hating on one another's you know. But I think I think that's in the different species. I would say it's in different elements of the hobby in general. Whether hating on how people run their business, how people run their social medias, all of that is a weakness, and eventually, will tear itself down if people continue to do that.
100%. 100%. So what you think about so-called gatekeeping?
Man, gatekeeping is a real thing, man. I think just like in every aspect of life, I mean, even on our day-to-day jobs, there's gatekeeping, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's always somebody up there at the top who think that they should be there. And some people, granted, they might have earned that spot up there, but then they get there and then they forget how it is they got there. So then they forget about the guys up under them. But then some people just put themselves in a position to claim a throne that's not really a throne to be claimed. I think there's a lot of gatekeeping in our hobby, whether it be, you know, um, there's no reason why, especially in the social media realm. I feel like there's so many people that uh, block others from being able to, whether it be put out information or, communicate with others and go on, do other people's shows and podcasts. And man, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff with gatekeeping, especially in social media, that I think is divides the community as a whole, and it's not good for the community for sure. You know,
Yeah, 100%, man. Like to me, that's whole shit, dog. Like I'm not gonna even like mix words. Dog. Like to me, that's whole shit, dog. Like just straight up, straight up. Like I hate to be so blunt with it, but that's just how I feel about it, man. Like I'm speaking from my heart here. Like to me, is reflective of being scared of something. You know what I mean? Like what is it exactly that you're scared of, and
right?
why are you scared? You know what I mean? Because at the end
Yeah,
of the day, man, we just talked about it. Is so much opportunity out here. Like the reptile community it's a big community. It's a lot of people in it. But when you look at it relative to like the whole population and how much room to grow, it's really
hmm
just small, man. And so in order for it to grow, we have to get more people, obviously. You know what I mean? And so everybody going to be attracted to who they attracted to. You know what I mean? Like somebody
yeah,
might vibe with me, don't necessarily vibe with you, vice
right,
versa. Somebody might not vibe with us, but they vibe with the homies at the Whiskey Bomb Network. You know what I mean? And just
right,
whatever. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? Because you go attract your tribe by the person that you are. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
at the end of the day, no matter what, it's going to be people that rock with you, and it's going to be people that don't rock with you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But the more diverse representation that we have out of here, like however you want to define diverse, you know what I mean? But the more unique voices that we have out here, the better that is for the whole community, because you can't attract everybody. I can't attract everybody. There's nobody who can attract everybody, but
right,
working together, being collaborative, being positive, being supportive, doing all those things, we can attract more people. And at the end of the day, it's a numbers game. Like we just talked about USARK. A big part of USARK is support, whether that's support, this monetary support, whether that's support in head count, because you know what I'm saying? USARK, if they go up there and say, hey, we got 100 members versus they say, hey, we got 1,000,000 members, then that's
right,
different. You know what I mean? And so at the
right,
end of the day, we all are charged with it, bringing
right,
other folks
exactly,
into this community. You know what I'm saying? By doing what we can do. You know what I mean? Everybody not gonna do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have one way of doing it. Like for me, I like the podcast. You know what I mean? Somebody else might like some reels. Somebody else might do educational parties. Somebody else might take their animal somewhere to like a school or something like that. Just whatever, man. But at the end of the day, the goal is to share our passion about these animals. Because if we put in the animals first, if we truly put in the animals first, dog, then we can get rid of that ego shit at the end of the day.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, bro, it's just like, so say like here, so here in Reno, right? Reno Sparks area, we're not a big city, right? So I got a Facebook group for our city it's grown up to 500 members over the last year and a half, almost 2 years or whatever, right? So we have 500 members. Everybody in the city knows who does reptile parties, and that's me, right? So I do them from this right here to hours out. Like I'll drive an hour max one way to you know what I'm saying? So all the surrounding area, Reno, Tahoe, whatever area. So it's a new cat in town. He's not new in town, but he's a new dude, newer into the hobby, not very experienced in the hobby, but he's come in and he's like, I want to do educational shows. It would be crazy for me to be like, because he's on my Facebook page that I run, right? So it'd be crazy though for me to be like, nah, you can't post your stuff. Don't post your advertisements about your business, open it up, trying to do educational shows, because everybody already knows that that's what I do. Like that would be crazy for me to do that, because I want the community to grow. You know what I'm saying? And so who am I to say that I'm the only dude in the city of, you know, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people to be able to say, if we got hundreds of thousands, I don't know. But who am I to say, though, that, you know what I'm saying, that somebody else can't come out here and grind too? Like if I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like if they like his presentation better than like mine, then go ahead and pay that man to come to your parties. And if you like mine better than his, then I'm going to pay me and I'm going to come to your party. Like that's how I feel like it should be. But like that, and it would be like you saying, okay, well, I'm gonna do every network that I got on my I'm gonna start the chondro network and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a spider. Just because you got a few tarantulas and a chondro and this, that, don't mean that you should be doing a channel, you know, or that don't mean that you should be doing a show. But what you've done is, okay, let me open up this thing to bam, now we can get more people on here talking about these species that they love. We just gonna use this platform that we've already got growing. You know what I'm saying? But for cats, man, I've heard about cats, you know, boycotting people's stuff because they developed a YouTube channel and they got a following going, and now you want to hate because they got a following going, and you thinking you losing some of your followers on your YouTube and on your Instagram. And like, man, it really is. I'm trying to stay as Christ-like as I can, but it really is what it really is, some real like some real weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? Keep it PG. It's some weird stuff, bro.
It's some very weird stuff, man. Like people going around telling other people not to go on your show, people bullying their friends to tell them to delete comments off your video. Like that's emotional abuse, bro. Like just call it what it is, man. Like it's crazy and it's real weird. I'm gonna use your word. It's a lot of weirdo type activity going on, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
And,
but
yeah, it's wild, bro.
It's wild. It's wild. And like I was talking the other day, man, speaking of this, and big shout out to Jen too, who just mentioned like kind of like my next talking point, which is professionalism. You know what I mean? To me, like that's huge, dog. Like it's huge to be professional. It's huge to present yourself in a way that's positively representative of whatever industry you in. Like to me, like that's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? So to be a pro means to be professional. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like people forget that. Like quick to say pro, but then don't exercise professionalism. Like let's bring the professionalism back to the game. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy to me. Like this is a touchy subject for me to talk about, dog, because like I'm very passionate. I mean, like you know about like the little situation or whatever that we just went through. So I'm really trying to maintain professionalism. So I'm gonna stick to using your type of words, but like weirdo activity, man. Just be professional, man. Like just everybody can do their own thing. It's a big highway. It's a lane for everybody on this big highway. I'm gonna steal the analogy from the homie Jason from Ancestral World Pythons. Big shout out to the homie. But it's a big highway. You know what I'm saying? it's not just one lane, it's several lanes on this big highway that we in. You can get in your lane, you can do your thing. If somebody doing something similar to you, they're not gonna do it the exact same as you. You know what I mean? So it's cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
another thing too is people really focus on the tip of the iceberg because that's what they can see. But at the end of the day, they don't understand or they haven't seen like all that stuff that's below sea level. So just because, and I get it, perception is reality, but just because you see something one way don't necessarily mean that that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's a right way to approach situations and it's a wrong way to approach situations.
Right.
So when you approach a situation, approach it in the right way. Like, don't come sideways. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I mean, like Bosa
Like,
saying,
move,
like you do lose a lot of respect. Like
yeah,
Bosa saying,
move, yeah.
you lose a lot of respect when you're talking about other people because at the end of the day, man, it's a weakness for our community because it is a small, even though like we keep saying, it's a small community. So you can't really say one thing to somebody else and then expect it to not end up in that person's circle at some point. One reason I love KG, I love KG. KG is
Big
like
shout out to the
he's
homie.
like my West Coast big
Keep on
brother.
that
Yeah,
work.
that's the homie, man. He but anytime I feel a way about something, I just hit him up. He be like, man, bro, don't even worry about it. Hey, you ain't gonna need to respond to nothing. It just keep doing you, keep it 100. And you know what I'm saying? But don't talk, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to respond and talk about nobody, you know what I'm saying? If they trying to do you dirty or do y'all show dirty or whatever, just, you know what I'm saying? Just stay 100 to yourself. And the thing I love about him is that he was the first person, he was like, when the whole Mike situation happened, he was like, dude, you know, he ain't never done nothing to me. Like, I don't hate nobody because everybody else hate him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me to hate somebody, bottom line. You know what I mean? Like, I'm my own man. And at the end of the day, if you do me wrong, then yeah, I got a reason to be mad at you. But I'm not going to go off of just what somebody else saying, just not mess with you because somebody else tell me not to mess with you. That's not how I function. But there's a lot of people who are gatekeeping, who got a lot of people wrapped around their fingers, and they can whisper one thing in somebody's ear and then it be just, you know what I'm saying, it shuts down everything. And I don't get it because we all in this thing together. And I've never seen a corner, like if you think about it in the fast food aspect, I've never seen a corner with just a McDonald's. You always got a McDonald's, a Burger King, and everything else because studies show that people will stop right there in that area. So everybody's going to go to that area. You don't just get to monopolize and say, well, McDonald's got the whole block. Like it's just not how it works. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So it's crazy to me, man. It's, you know, but it is definitely a weakness on our community, man. So hopefully
Yeah, it's a big time weakness, bro.
Yeah.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you get it.
But yeah, it's a big time weakness too. And another thing too, like what you were saying, as far as like folks having people like wrapped around their fingers and like whispering stuff in their ear, this, that, and the third, man. At the end of the day, man, look at resumes. Look at resumes. You know what I'm saying? And see what type of person telling you XYZ. You know what I'm saying? Or come to a person and talk to them because it's at least two sides to every story at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so don't just go off of what somebody say. Do your research. Stop being lazy. Put some due diligence into the equation at the end of the day, because you just as bad as them if you not doing your due diligence, if you not, you know what I'm saying, like looking at this with a critical eye versus just going off of what somebody say and running with the pack or clout chasing. Like all that stuff, like that's another weakness too, clout chasing. And I was talking with somebody the other day and we was talking about like why folks really kind of flock to the drama. You know what I mean? And they made a good point. The reptile industry is an industry, but it's a lot of like hobbyist mentality still. You know what I mean? Because if it was more business mentality, then that wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, the spirit of the day, because more folks would be conducting themselves in a professional manner. But given that, and I'm not saying the hobbyist mentality, the hobbyist aspect is bad, because that's good. That's part of what drives the passion. But you can take the good part and keep it for yourself and get rid of everything else. But that hobbyist mentality in terms of like not treating this like professional sphere,
Right.
that's a threat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not to get ahead of myself, but that's a threat. And like that's a big reason why people kind of flock to that Jerry Springer bullshit. You know what I mean? But let's be adults, people. Let's grow up. Let's take this to the next level. It's so many things that we can do, and it's so many things that we can do together as a community versus coming at each other, trying to pick each other apart over like childish BS, man. Weirdo stuff, man. That's my new word. Weirdo type activity, man.
Weird, bro. I learned that from them high school kids. I be up there subbing. They be like, that's weird. That's weird, coach. Like,
that's weird.
Yeah, crazy. Hey, you want to do the what's the name before we jump into the next spot?
Yeah, let's do the sponsor thing real quick, man.
Do the sponsor.
And then we'll be right back, man.
The special guest tapped in with me too.
Okay, bet. Yeah. So let everybody know real quick. We're gonna have a special guest, surprise guest. They're gonna come in at the end of the show. So y'all make sure y'all stick around for that. But we're gonna kick this sponsor video, and after these messages, we'll be right back.
Experience the epitome of elegance and excellence with Reagan Renee Rural Pythons. Working projects like DG Krypton and DG Clown, you can place your bets on quality and let Reagan Renee be your winning hand. Expect innovation and unmatched customer service with every interaction. Elevate your collection with the finest quality ball pythons. Visit them on Instagram and Morph Market. Discover the extraordinary at Reagan Renee Rural Pythons.
Step into a world where dreams take shape with Ozzy, a true leader in the reptile industry. Known for unparalleled customer service and a dedication to excellence, Ozzy sets the standard. His cutting-edge projects continue to inspire and push the boundaries of what's possible. Submerge yourself in a future full of possibilities. Join the journey, embrace the innovation, and above all, keep dreaming.
Appreciate the sponsors, man. Big shout out to Charlie. Yeah. Big shout out to Ozzy. Appreciate you both, fellas. All right, so opportunities, bro. What are some opportunities you see?
Oh man, so many, man. Linking up with the right cats is one of the opportunities that I've seen in this hobby. Even guys that are not in the same realm, like they're not in the ball pythons, but they might be in a different species. The opportunity to just link up with the right people, man, make those right connections is going to get you further, faster, but also is going to put you in the areas that you want to be in as far as accountability, professionalism, and holding yourself to a higher standard. It's just so many opportunities to be able to progress and to take yourself to the next level and what it is that you want to do. You know, a lot of people step into this hobby and take it as an opportunity to level up and then sell off everything and get back out. It's like another investment. It's like a stock market. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different opportunities within the reptile hobby though, and so many different species and different stocks, I guess to say, to choose from, that there's definitely opportunities out there to get around the right people, but also make a nice monetary gain if you do it the right way, you know?
Big facts. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. Yeah, man, 100%. It's a bunch of opportunity out there. Like one of the big opportunities that I'm seeing is I like it that we getting like some new national shows like in different cities, like different big cities and stuff like that. Like Bob's show, Southeast Reptile Expo, also Nick and Troy's show, All American Reptile and Plant Expo. I like seeing that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's another opportunity for folks to kind of come from at least their region, you know what I mean? And like travel to a big show because obviously it's gonna be some real cool animals there, and then like the community and having the opportunity to meet up with people that you usually like really only communicate with online or maybe on the phone and stuff like that, and getting to see them in person, you know what I'm saying? Chat it up with them in person. Like the online stuff is amazing, man. Like I feel like it's a big driver. I don't even just feel like I know it's a big driver as to like why this industry is growing the way it's growing, and why these communities are being built in the way that these communities are being built. But there's absolutely positively no substitution for that in-person interaction, man. I love it, man. Like getting to meet people, chop it up with them, man. Just have a good time, man. You really get a chance to see like people for who they are, chill with them, do things you might not otherwise have the opportunity to do. So definitely super excited about like all these big shows that's popping up. So man, big shout out to those guys, man. And I had the opportunity to attend both of those shows, or at least one of the shows on Nick and Troy's circuit, the one in Charlotte. I haven't been able to make it to like Denver and Overland Park, obviously, but the one in Charlotte was dope. The Atlanta show was dope. Looking forward to hitting both of those up in 2025. So y'all make sure y'all check us out there. But it's been real fun, man. So these big national shows, it's an opportunity. And I said this before, man, like we're going to look 3, 4, 5 years down the road, and like these shows going to be huge as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's wild. I wish, because I know they do the one in Colorado, and I would like to try to go to that one next year. But just going to those shows, like you said, the opportunity last year, this past January when I went to Pomona, I wish I was going this January, but I got to meet some crazy cool people, man. You know what I'm saying? Me and who was it that night? Me, Miguel, KG.
Shout out to Miguel. Big shout out to KG.
A bunch of cats though that I would never have hung out with, but we was all in LA at Pomona, and we all got to hang out and just got to meet dudes outside of the snakes, you know what I'm saying, and talk to them, you know, outside of talking about snakes. Of course, we brought up snakes, but just hanging out and chilling, you know, having a beer and relaxing, eating dinner. Definitely a great time. I'm hoping that we do got the Sacramento show up here in Sacramento that's 2 hours away from me, but I'm hoping that, you know, maybe, I don't know, Troy then will get a wild hair and bring another big show to Northern California, because we only had the SAC one twice a year. You know, so if y'all out there and y'all hear this replay or whatever, somebody tell you, I just kicked something. Come on out here to Northern California, man, and you know, so I can go over the hill and come hang out. Or Utah, one of the two. That's close too. You know.
How far is Utah away from you?
Oh man, Salt Lake is like 8 hours, 9 hours.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, so it ain't too bad. Yeah, it's the same as I drove to get to Pomona. So yeah, it ain't too bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, man. Another opportunity I see is like continuous increased outreach to like underrepresented communities. You know what I mean? Like just going out there and like really reaching out to more people within the community. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at like certain groups might be underrepresented in the community. Like for example, like Black folks. You know what I mean? I definitely see a lot more like people of color and like Black folks in the group or in the industry now than when I first got in. And so that's huge, but continuous like reaching out to like underrepresented groups and like bringing more and more people into the fold, because again, man, having like diverse people in the industry and bringing more people into the hobby is only good for like the whole industry, the whole hobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I've honestly it's been on my heart this year, because especially, I mean, that's just the community we come from. You know what I'm saying? So if I say Black people, just y'all that's not Black in the chat or whatever, just don't take it offensive. That's just the community I come from. But I will say that we had like a Black Wall Street event last year for the community, right? So I took out my reptiles out there, you know, and we was out there for like 4 hours. So what I would charge somebody, you know, for 4 hours, that's a lot. But I went out there, you know what I'm saying? I went out there for free and just, you know what I'm saying, trying to introduce the community to something different. Because every community I can't speak for the Hispanic community or the Chinese community or the white community as far as, you know, what they grow up with as far as their, you know, the things that they are implanted in their heads growing up as far as reptiles go. But I know for the Black community, if you're in the church, the snake is the devil, all reptiles is nasty, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, then you have those outliers that go against the grain, because my daddy was a pastor and we had snakes at 7, 8 years old. So he didn't care about none of that stuff. So you have those few outliers, right? But the majority of us, you know, grew up thinking that the snake was the devil. So just getting out there, I've been talking to my wife about it. Last year but I do want to. I'm thinking about like doing like a party for somebody in the community, just for free, not charging them to come out there, just so we can, better expose the community to it and just broaden the. And what it does is it just brings more people into the reptile community, because all it takes is one interaction, one positive interaction with the animals to understand that, okay, everything that I was taught as a kid really ain't that. It ain't what it is.
100%, 100%. And I grew up the same way, bro. I'm just checking the lights real quick. I grew up the same way, man. The snakes was the devil, you know what I mean? And like that's kind of like what was programmed in me, like from a very early age, you know what I'm saying? And I grew up kind of with that mentality. And it took really, bro, to 2020. Like I'm 40 years old before like I got out of, you know what I'm saying, that mindset, that mentality. So yeah, man. The Bosa say Hispanics are the same. And then John's offended. So our bad, bro.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. It's really important to combat that narrative, you know what I mean? And once people kind of see what it's all about, and really start learning about kind of like all the nuance and stuff like that, then their mind start going, right? They start thinking. Right. They might not necessarily be ready to have a snake or own a snake, but they're not as opposed to it as they were before, and they're not just as negative about it as they were before. But yeah, man, definitely a lot of opportunities. And real quick, so when I was like writing down like some of my thoughts and stuff like that, man, one of the things I thought about, like, man, it's a lot of stuff, man. So we definitely gonna have to come back and do a deep dive on some of these topics, like specifically later on. And we definitely gonna have to do SWOT analysis of other aspects of the industry and stuff like that. But just to kind of keep it short for tonight, let's go on and go to threats, man. So what are some of the biggest threats that you see to the reptile industry or reptile community? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those threats are going to be correlate with those weaknesses that we talked about. You know what I'm saying? Because weakness is a threat for sure. But misinformation and miseducation is a threat to me. That I feel like because everybody is so YouTube. Granted, is the greatest growing tool I think that we can use, but then there's also a lot of misinformation that can also become a threat to the community. When misinformation is put out, or when we got guys on there that's almost dying because they decided that they wanted to mess with the most dangerous snake in the world free-handled. You know what I'm saying? And so then that hits social media. And then now it's running through social media, and it turns into what it is, what it's turned into. Now, who knows? There's already talk of him now getting a deal with Netflix to do like your homeboy Joe. Is his name Joe?
Jay?
Or Tiger King? No, the Tiger King dude.
Oh, Tiger King Joe Exotic.
Yeah, Joe Exotic. So the dude who got bit by that taipan, I think it was, whatever snake, that they're already talking about doing a documentary with this dude. So the negativity that's going to bring to the reptile community I don't think it's going to be a positive experience. I think Netflix is going to, they need a story. I mean, they need it to be interesting.
They got to sensationalize it.
Yeah. So, and there's going to be some drama in there, So, yeah. So I think that's a threat.
Either great minds think alike, or you've been looking on my paper, because I had like that exact same example written down. But I agree with you 100%, man. Like stuff like that, like it's not a good look for the industry, because in an industry like people are already kind of like afraid. I'm not gonna say innately afraid, but they've been taught to be afraid. You know what I mean? Of reptiles, particularly snakes. You know what I mean? And so to have something like that be like so public facing, and then to throw on top of that, now we're talking about like a Netflix series, and if they sensationalize that the wrong way, it's a bad look. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so like you have these legislators out there making laws and pushing stuff through who don't necessarily have the understanding about these animals that we have. And so it's dangerous when negative public perceptions are out there, and those type of public perceptions are influencing legislators and people who have like the power, you know what I mean, to
Right.
make laws that's going to adversely affect us. And not only is it those folks who can be swayed by negative public perception, but like the other people, they can be swayed to support like these types of like laws and ordinances and all that good stuff because
Right.
they have a negative public perception, or they have a negative perception of reptiles and what it is that we do.
Yeah. It could be bad, man. That to me right now, when I was just thinking about threats, just think that shoot, I keep hitting this spike. That's probably going to be the biggest threat for our community coming up here. If that goes through with this whole Netflix that I've heard about, it could because he was even posting that up on his Facebook that he was in the works of doing something, and so it could be it could be one of those things, man. That especially where he's from or in that area. There could be a ban of a whole lot of stuff. And when the people that's doing legislation get the ban and stuff, they have no clue what it is they're doing at all. They're not reptile enthusiasts. So
not at all.
They just make a blanket law to cover up everything. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where we all as keepers and breeders and stuff get penalized because they're just going to make a blanket statement, man. And so so to me that's a threat. That's a threat we got going on. And like I said, the weak points that like we talked about as far as gatekeeping and stuff, that's a threat of our growth of the community. And so that kind of stuff is going to keep us from growing for sure.
100%. Like I feel like, and I kind of want to like sum it up real quick because I know we got to get to the special guest, but I feel like all of those weaknesses, you know what I'm saying, you can look at those weaknesses and easily articulate a way that those weaknesses are threats for the reptile community. You know what I mean? Like whether it is gatekeeping, like we talked about that. And so people doing stuff like that, turning people off from the community. So that's one less person who might be buying animals. That's one less person who might be supporting USARC. That's one less person who might be supporting the podcast. That's one less person who might be buying a ticket to the Reptile Expo. You know what I'm saying? That's one less person who's available to teach somebody else coming into the game. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, man, that negative stuff, that negativity, that weirdo stuff has a compounding effect that translates into a threat for this community, a threat for this industry, and a threat to these animals. You know what I mean? And so we got to get off that weirdo stuff. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm not gonna go back down the rabbit hole because I was halfway decent, bro. I was halfway decent, man. So Takar, be proud of me. Everybody, be proud of me because I was halfway decent. So
and we definitely got to do more of these on specific topics, though, within the community for sure. Definitely.
for sure. Hey, but man, I just seen the homie pop in the chat. We're gonna pivot over to that real quick, and then we're gonna wrap it up for tonight.
All right, cool.
What's good, big homie?
Good.
What up? There he is.
Yeah, boy. I'm out here for the 15 minutes of blame. You guys got to get out there and vote. Vote every day.
Oh, he just came right up in here.
December 24th. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to put it out there right now. You got to have that energy.
hey, I got one question to ask you, though. I'm sure he's in here. Well, I'm those of y'all that don't, I'm in the competition too, but don't even think about voting for me because I want to promote other people in this thing. So we brought Sloan Morse on here, Darren from Sloan Morse, so he can promote himself. But we do got a sponsor for our show who's also competing. So let us know why, you know what I'm saying? You should be our vote over our sponsor because he's gonna come on another episode. He don't know it yet and give his own shout out. But tell us, you know what I'm saying? Represent Sloan Morse. Make your pitch to the people, man.
Hey, we're gonna put you on the ISO. There you go.
So, hey, I mean, one of the biggest things is getting out there. I'm gonna do this and campaign through all platforms I could be on. That's one of the hardest things to do is put your face out there, doing the skits. Yeah, they're coming too. Don't worry. But mine are going to be a little bit different, a little bit special, and a little bit less than PG-13, if you understand what I'm saying. It's going to be straight
I'm here for it. So tell the people why you should win the contest.
Hey, I'm true to this. I love this. even if I wasn't making any kind of money off of this, I'm still gonna do it. I have always been silent and just been in the background making my own stuff for the longest time. And Will from Flawless Crescent Geckos and Flawless Exotic Creation, he pushed me to really actually step forward and put my face out there, because it wasn't about me putting my face out there, man. And that's how much I love this. It's more than just a hobby to me.
And how long you been in the game?
Man, so I started picking up in 2011.
Oh, you've been in the game a minute. Yeah. I think I remember you saying that before when you was on the show last time. You've been in the game a hot minute.
Oh yeah, I watch Snake and the Fat Man when he first had his first episode. He was the first one to do podcasts. He had Mike.
Yeah, Ralph Davis on episode 1.
And Ralph Davis. Yeah, and that's where I was like, man, I really listened to his stuff.
Yeah. What you bringing that up as far as you and Darren? Go ahead, give us a little shout or tell us a little bit about y'all podcast, because that are not you and Darren, but you and
Will.
Just dropped up. Will. Yeah. So give us a shout out on that show, man.
Big shout out to Flawless.
Every other Sunday we have a podcast. We kind of bring on a lot of new people that really even haven't been on any kind of podcast or platforms. We try to find those mostly, but even if you have, it still doesn't matter. If you're new to this or even old, we still like to have you on and hear your journey, what's going on, and then we want to follow back with those people within a year and have them back on and see where they're at.
Yeah, I like y'all show, man. I definitely catch the replays a lot, because on Sundays I be at church, because y'all do it in the morning, don't y'all?
Yeah, we do. Well,
yeah,
it's 12 in the afternoon.
Our
time, but then it's
y'all time, but it's 9. Yeah. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
12. Yeah. But yeah, so but I always catch the replay, try to leave a comment on there. And that's what it's about, y'all. Go on people's doggone YouTube, leave comments for them, give them some likes and stop hating on everybody, man.
Yeah, stop hate, man. Hit that like button, man. Tap in, say replay game, just tap in, drop an emoji, do something. Good love. Support.
Yeah, I love y'all podcast though, man. It's a good one there. It's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Anything else? Anything else you want to put out to the people, man? This your, you know what I'm saying? This your time to let them know.
The biggest thing when you start in this, man, I know a lot of people want to get further and further, fast, but slow and steady wins the race. You start learning a little bit more about these genes, because a lot of these people are misidentifying stuff. So we got to watch out for that. And then you're paying for genes you didn't have. Now we have genetic testing, so you can test and figure out what you have.
Shout out to Charlie.
For sure. Big shout out to the homie Charlie, sharedtesting.com. Anything else you want to tell everybody about your 15 minutes of lane bid? When you gonna start dropping the skits, man? We've been talking about the skits for a minute now, man. I need some skits.
I got a couple in mind, but it's the timing of getting that other person involved, or both. My son's gonna be involved in one of them, and then I have some other stuff that's gonna be involved. So
okay. I like that you got something in mind, but I can't scroll down your mind. I need to see it on IG.
I can't scroll down your mind.
Oh, that's real talk. This is the comfort zone, where it's gonna break the comfort zone that I have of just staying in the dark.
Yeah, you got you, because I'm telling you,
anything.
They've been, who is it? Is it England?
Bro, they getting at you in the comments too, man. He said it might be a little bit out your reach.
See, that's okay, because you know what? You always remember people that make an impression on you. So if that light is there, take it, run with it. I'll take it.
Run with it, bro.
Hey, Big E, when I stand next to him, boy, I look like a little kid. I'm 100 with it. Like,
and we all look like little kids standing next to Matt.
KG and 6'6" Serpents.
Yeah, I thought I was an adult.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Boy, that's 3 towers.
Oh man. Somebody said they ain't vote until they see the propaganda. Oh man.
Nice, man. I'm glad you're excited about it, man. Definitely looking forward to seeing what you drop on social media, man. I'm gonna definitely be checking it out. Definitely share it out, man. Appreciate you. And I like what you're doing too, man. Like going around, like hitting people up, reminding them, you know what I mean? Because it might not be top of mind for everybody every single day, but those reminders, they help, man. So they getting people out there voting. So Big shout out to you, man, and best of luck.
That's hard to do too. Thanks, man. Because that for you, sometimes you feel like, man, am I a bugaboo? Like this guy
Nah,
really
man.
know
Hey,
what I'm saying? When I pass
hey,
it to
hey, I'm telling you,
Sometimes
everybody,
you
we
gotta,
if
have
I don't
700
get a
employees
text,
at work. I'm passing to everybody.
hey, if I don't get an IG message from somebody saying vote for me on that on like tomorrow, then I don't
Yep.
vote because it don't be. I got so much stuff going on, which is
So,
why
yep.
I can't do the
Yes, sir.
videos and campaign because life is just too crazy right now. But I don't mind when you send me okay, click it, go ahead, vote. It only takes 2 seconds, but it's whoever send me the vote link first, and that's what I'm doing. Whoever send me the message first, then I'm just
I
going
love
to vote.
reminders, man.
Yeah.
Tip, people who send in the link, make sure you send the link to the actual voting page. So
Oh
people can click in there real easy.
Yeah,
I've
right,
had
not
some
the
people send me
homepage. I don't want to search.
I'm like, it's harder to find than just that link directly to the page. Because I've gone back and I'm like, hey, I had people search and I'm like, wait, hold on. Why does it go to 2023? I can't find it. Man, especially at work. I was trying to
Yeah.
send out emails and everything. Vote for me. I know you
Send
don't
the
care
link
about
to the
face,
voting
but just click.
page, man, because like I be like me, man, like I'll be like ripping and running through the day, and I might be out of one meeting to the next meeting, and I might be checking IG or something real quick, and then I see it. But if I got to click on the home page, then now I can't find it before I get to my next meeting. Now you might have just missed your opportunity.
Yes, that right there, man. He said there's over 4,000 votes. So as of Friday, there was over 4,000 votes already. And I think that's pretty big from any other time.
Oh, for real? Word. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man,
I'm
big
like,
shout out to all y'all doing your thing in the contest, man. And like I said, man, best of luck. Hey, I'm gonna circle back real quick if y'all don't mind to like the conversation we was having, just to give a perfect example of what we're talking about, as it relates to like collaboration and being supportive within the community. So this week, the homie Keys, the homie Wiz, I almost combined their name. The homie Keys, the homie Wiz, they announced their show called The Genetic Canvas, and their show is similar to Morph Map. Now, we could have been fake and pretend supportive and kind of like, he coming out with a show, or he coming out with a show, this, that, and the third. But no, we didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like me and the homie Keys, we talked about it, and as leaders of this community, we acted as such. You know what I mean? And we said, hey, we both bringing something different to the table. We both gonna support each other, and that's what you should do. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. There's enough room for everybody to eat. Because at the end of the day, like most of these podcasts about ball pythons, it's gonna be some overlap at some point. But it's the way you present the information that's gonna bring different energy, different flavors, different twists. And like I said at the beginning of the show, man, people gonna track who they're gonna track. They're gonna draw who they're gonna draw, man. So big shout out to the homie Keys, big shout out to the homie Wiz, big shout out to the homie KG, and of course, big shout out to Brian, big shout out to Tommy, man. We doing the thing. Big shout out to Jared from Selective Creation, man. We all eating, man, and we got collaborations coming. We got a lot of stuff coming, man. So stay tuned, pay attention, man. This is the new wave. This is the future, and we are here now.
There's so many podcasts out there. Hey, share some of those with me, because I try to listen, especially when I'm at work, man, because all I'm doing is I have certain people I have to talk to in the morning, but then I'm so used to my job, I'm so good at it, it's like second nature. So
bro,
I
you know
look
what
at this
to do?
stuff and I listen to podcasts while I'm doing it.
Hit up what's her name from she do a lot of stuff with the homie Sammy Vargas. What's her name? She got the yes, exactly. Yes. What's her name? I can't remember her name right. Why is it
man?
I just listened to her
it's on
podcast
my
the other
tongue
day.
right now too.
Who you talking about?
But, podcast.
She's from Texas. Yeah, she's from Texas.
Hey,
it's called
Holly?
Holly. There you go.
Holly.
Holly. Hit Holly up, because Holly always got a list of every doggone podcast and every time that they come on. Like she puts out a list like every so often of everybody's podcast and what time everybody has on what day and this, that, and the other. So definitely, if you want to have the list, I'll hit her up too and be like, hey, update the list, because I know we got more shows. Everybody got a lot more shows out, and so she'll maybe put out an updated list. But man, it's something to listen to all day, every day. You should never have an excuse
Big
not
fact.
to be able to listen to reptile stuff.
Yeah.
So
Big
it's
fact.
something
Big
out
shout
there.
out to Holly for doing that too, because I know that's a lot of work, a lot of effort. So big shout out to her.
Yeah.
One real quick comment, man. I love John from Mission Morris. I'm gonna have to block him from my channel. Talking about my Gators, man. We won, bro. 24-17.
Who they beat today? It had to be
Ole Miss.
somebody.
Ole Miss.
Oh, they beat Ole Miss?
Killed their playoff aspirations. You're not going to the playoffs. You see when them boys eating on defense, bro. DJ Lagway eating at QB, man. Big shout out to them Gators, man.
Hey, I just want to say the biggest thing is everybody has their own personality, own flavors when they do their podcast. So, it's not like you're going to talk about the same things at the same time, especially when it comes to jeans. There's so many out there. so many out
bro.
there.
And you're going to deliver different.
Exactly. So, and there's no hate, no reason to hate on other podcasts at all, period.
No. Because I'm gonna listen to Keys them. Is it gonna be Keys and Wiz doing it?
It's Jared from Selected Creations.
Okay, so
right
he gonna have okay. So I'm gonna watch him do that one on Keys and them network. Then I'm gonna watch Tommy them do it on this network, and then I'm gonna go to my YouTube page and then put me out a video off of their stuff.
Hey, Jared knows his jeans too.
Yeah, he does. He does.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the
we
information
at
out
Canova facility tour, man. It was a good time, man.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, we not knocking on almost an hour and a half, man. I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Unless you guys got anything else.
I heard my wife walk in and she got my food, so I'm.
Oh yeah, it's food 30.
Yeah.
Just get out there and vote. That's all I want to say. Every day, every 24 hours you can vote. So at midnight you can vote again. And then also you can vote until the December 24th.
For sure, man. Well, like I say, man, good luck with everything, man. Appreciate you coming on, giving your spiel, your elevator speech, and good luck, man. Good luck, and looking forward to the reels and all that good stuff, man. I think you gonna make some funny stuff, man. Just got to get out there and do it. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for tonight, man. Really appreciate everybody sliding through in the chat tonight. Appreciate everybody hitting that like button. Replay game, when you tap in, man, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you drop a comment. We're gonna get back on our Grizzly with putting the audio only episodes on the podcast platform. We have been ripping and running and kind of like slipping these last couple weeks, but that's our bad. We dropped the ball on that, but we will have them on all major podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and more. So wherever you get your podcast goodness from, you're going to be able to get Double Clutch as well. Again, man, appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate everybody like showing love, showing support. Man, be like Bosa. Be the Sultan of support. Be like Shauna Connor. Be the Sultaness of support. Do your thing, man. It's room out here. Is enough out here for everybody to eat. And at the end of the day, man, this is supposed to be about the animals. The animals come first. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't be doing anything that's going to adversely affect this community, adversely affect this industry if the animals are truly indeed first. You know what I mean? So just a little words of wisdom, man. Some tidbits, some gems, man. Big shout out to all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all sliding through. That's going to be it for tonight. For Double Clutch, I'm Mike. This is the homie Matt, and this is the homie
join
Darren.
the Patreon.
Morphs. Oh, yeah. Join the Patreon. Join the Double Clutch Patreon while you playing, man. The community is growing. We want to grow even more. Join the Double Clutch Patreon. We got a Patreon Zoom call coming up this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join the Patreon, man. Go ahead and hop on, man. We've been having a lot of fun, been posting some dope stuff. I even started doing like a podcast on the Patreon, man. So definitely, man, y'all slide through, join the Patreon, come hop in the chat. It's a lot of perks, discounts, not just discounts on our animals, but discounts on other people's animals too. Like the homie Justin from Armless Angels, man. You see the absolute insanity this man is hatching. You can get some of these things at a discount by joining our Patreon. So definitely join the Patreon. The homie Steven from What a Morphs discounts on his animals, man, discounts on our animals, discounts on merch, man. We in the process of planning a meetup for the Southeast Reptile Expo, man. It's a lot of things that you can get by joining this Double Clutch Patreon, man. So slide through. It's 4 tiers. It starts at $10. Even if you just join the $10 tier, you're going to get some kind of value out of being in the Double Clutch Patreon. So don't delay. Join the Double Clutch Patreon today. We out of here, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Big Easy.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, you can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, always on track. With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch, where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Clutch, always on track. Clutch, always on track. With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. With Mike and Mac, we lead the way. In the reptile world, we're here to stay. Double clutch, where passion meets. From the start to the top, we can't be beat. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Double clutch, with Mike and Mac. Double clutch, it's where it's at. Double clutch, we lead the pack. Double clutch, always on track. Always on track.